He's a Gen Z music star, an artist born from TikTok who turned a track called Romantic Homicide into a billion-stream sensation. His name is D4VD, and at just 20 years old, he was touring the world, selling out shows, and working with some of the biggest names in music. But while his star was rising, a horrifying secret was apparently hidden in plain sight, festering inside a luxury car registered in his name. When a black Tesla was finally towed from a fancy Los Angeles street after sitting abandoned for days, neighbors were probably just relieved the eyesore was gone. But once it got to the impound lot, a disgusting smell started coming from the car. It led to a gruesome discovery that would send shockwaves around the world. Inside the trunk, police found the dismembered remains of a 15-year-old girl who had been missing for over a year. This is the deeply disturbing story of the singer, the Tesla, and the body in the trunk, and the forensic timeline that seems to connect a music superstar to a real-life Hollywood horror story. The story really kicks off on September 8, 2025 at Hollywood Tow, an official police garage in Los Angeles. A black Tesla, left on a public street in the ritzy Hollywood Hills for days, was impounded. Soon after it arrived, workers at the tow yard noticed a horrible smell coming from the car, a stench one resident later told the media smelled like sewage. Fearing the worst, they did the right thing and called the LAPD. Around 12:30 p.m., officers showed up. When they popped the trunk, they were met with a horrific sight: human remains stuffed inside a bag. The body was so badly decomposed that the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner would later report it looked like the victim had been dead inside the car for a long time. News outlets, citing police sources, reported the body wasn't even intact. The remains were dismembered. The car itself gave them their first major shock. The Tesla, which had Texas license plates, was registered to a David Anthony Burke, the 20-year-old Houston-born musician known to millions as D4D. At that exact moment, Burke was in the middle of his withered world tour, performing for thousands of fans, and supposedly had no idea about the horror story unfolding back in LA. For days, nobody knew who the victim was. The case was a Jane Doe, a ghost in the system. But investigators and the medical examiner were working nonstop. They noted the victim was wearing a tube top, black leggings, and a yellow metal chain bracelet. But the single most distinguishing feature was a small cursive tattoo on her right index finger that read, "Shh." Then, on September 17th, the LA County Medical Examiner's Office made it official. Using forensic evidence, they identified the remains as belonging to Celeste Hernandez. Celeste was just 15 years old. She had been reported missing from her home in Lake Elsinore, California, about 70 miles away, all the way back in April 2024. When she vanished, she was only 13. For over a year, her family had been desperately searching for her, putting up flyers, just praying she'd come home safe. Now their worst fears had come true in the most brutal way. Her family, who started a GoFundMe page to help with funeral costs, described themselves as heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. The mystery of what happened to Celeste was now officially an LAPD homicide investigation. Once the victim had a name, the investigation kicked into high gear, and the trail of evidence started to draw a chilling line toward the car's famous owner. And it was about a lot more than just a name on a registration. The first and most public connection was the tattoo. After investigators mentioned the "shh" tattoo on Celeste's finger, internet sleuths and reporters at TMZ didn't waste a second. They dug up photos of D4VD, and there it was, what looked like the exact same tattoo in the same spot, his right index finger. Now, Rihanna made that design popular years ago, but the coincidence was pretty startling. Then came a bombshell from Celeste's own mother. She told reporters that when her daughter went missing, she had a boyfriend named David. Suddenly, the connection felt terrifyingly personal. Could this possibly be the same David? The digital breadcrumbs just kept coming. As the story blew up, a previously unheard, unreleased demo track allegedly from D4D was leaked online. According to reports, the song was titled Celeste. In another strange twist, an old live stream allegedly featuring Celeste herself resurfaced, where she was apparently making accusations against the singer. While the details of that stream are still a bit murky, it just added another layer of suspicion. Investigators were moving fast. On the night of September 17th, detectives with the LAPD's Elite Robbery Homicide Division served a search warrant on a Hollywood Hills home where D4D had been staying. Neighbors confirmed they'd seen that distinctive Tesla with the Texas plates parked at the house before it was moved and later abandoned. Crime scene investigators were seen carrying a laptop and other potential evidence from the home. Police were now trying to piece together Celeste Rivas's final days and figure out what connection she had, if any, to that house and to the singer himself. As the investigation intensified, the fallout for D4D was swift and brutal. His representatives released a statement saying the singer was fully cooperating with the authorities, but his career was already starting to come apart at the seams. He was on tour when the news broke, and even performed at first. But as the grim details came out and Celeste was identified, the pressure became immense. First, his show in Seattle was suddenly canceled. Then, the rest of his US and European tour dates were wiped off the calendar. Big brands that had been lining up to work with him started cutting ties. Crocs and Hollister, who had just announced D4VD as the face of a new campaign, dropped him. His record label reportedly hit pause on the deluxe version of his album, and fellow artist Kaylee Uchis publicly announced she was trying to get their collaboration taken off streaming services. In the court of public opinion, the verdict was coming in hot. And yet, one huge question remains. Why hasn't D4D been arrested? As of late September 2025, David Anthony Burke hasn't been named an official suspect or even a person of interest. Legal experts say that while all this circumstantial evidence looks really bad, it doesn't meet the high legal bar of probable cause needed for an arrest. Owning the car simply isn't enough. Police need more direct evidence that links him to the actual crime. The cause of death for Celeste Rivas has been officially deferred, which means forensic experts are still trying to figure out exactly how she died. Without that critical piece of the puzzle, and without more evidence placing D4VD at the scene, prosecutors just can't build a solid case yet. So what do you think? Is this all just a string of terrifying coincidences, or is this a case of a rising star hiding a monstrous secret? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And for more deep dives into the cases everyone is talking about, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. The case of Celeste Hernandez is a tragedy that cut a young life short and left a family shattered. It's also a story that has collided with the world of fame and celebrity in the most disturbing way. While the court of public opinion has been ruthless, the legal investigation is moving with caution. For now, the world is left watching and waiting for forensic answers, waiting for the LAPD to make their next move, and waiting to see if a chart-topping artist is tangled in a web of horrific coincidences, or if he's at the center of a real-life romantic homicide. That wraps up today's update on the David Burke and Celeste Hernandez case. This story is still unfolding, and I'll continue to track every new development as it happens. If you found this insightful and enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit all and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you'd like even deeper dives, raw documents, and exclusive evidence, check out our True Crime PhD community through the links in the description. Thanks for watching True Crime PhD with true crime analyst Trinity Moses.